All right, hey guys, 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins, Sunday morning tropical update. Let's talk Invest 95L. You're looking at it here. The center is actually somewhere down here, almost due south of Wilmington, east-southeast of Savannah, pretty far offshore. But look at all this rain that's rotating around it. And look, there's been a ton of rain, especially in southeastern North Carolina over the last several days. But you're going to get more because I think this is going to drift to the northwest as we get going into the next 24 hours or so. So let's talk real fast today about the models. I want to start out. Let's just start out. We'll go full screen with the models here. Let's start with from the Hurricane Center, okay? So here's what we're looking at now. We've got Gordon way out here. I'll talk about that briefly. It's not going to affect anything. This system has a 50% chance of developing, and that's within the next 48 hours. I know it says 50 for 7 days, but it's going to do something within the next 2 days. All right, so here's Gordon. Gordon way out there, 40-mile-per-hour winds, barely tropical storm Gordon. Will be tropical depression Gordon here soon because it's going to weaken and then eventually turn to the north. That's it, nothing for that. This is the latest forecast track model for 95. The center is still, again, somewhere right in this area here is what it looks like. So the model's kind of maybe not initializing. It's close, right? But there's a split. Some models coming this way, some models coming right up to the north and the west. And that's a pretty good 50-50 split there as well. Take a look at the intensity forecast models. Anything in the green would be a tropical storm, right? And most of the models do say it gets there. It doesn't like here's oh sorry, here's 50 knots. I couldn't even get the mute button in time. That top line is 50 knots for intensity. And you can see most of the models are right up here in 40, 45 knots. So you're talking 45, 50 mile per hour winds with gusts a little bit higher than that, okay? GFS model basically coming in, parts of the European as well coming in to the north. This is the ensembles. And I know there's a lot to look at here, but this is the GFS, and the GFS is more northwest towards Myrtle Beach. All right, there's Gordon coming up and out. Another wave comes off of Africa. This might even go out. But look at all this down here. This is next week, really towards next weekend, with something trying to get going and coming up and coming out. The trend is through the Bahamas at this point, which would be great for Florida, but it couldn't, Florida, we got to keep an eye on it. All right, now that was the GFS. This is the European. You can see the European is a little further to the north, up into North Carolina. It has Gordon turning, going out, has the other wave coming out to the northwest. It, too, is starting to sniff something happening here late next week into the weekend and coming out to the north and the west. So plenty to watch. Obviously, the one we want to really keep our eye on right now is this one here in the Carolinas. So let's back out here. There's the red blob. You see it moving into Myrtle Beach. This is 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. So this is overnight tonight. The GFS says this thing moves onshore. Right? Number one, that'll limit the amount of wind you can get, but you'll get a ton of rain. The sooner this goes onshore, the less time it has to get stronger and get more wind and more surge. All right, so that's good news if you want that, but that's a ton of rain. Low country of South Carolina, especially obviously northeast South Carolina, Horry County. But that's a Wilmington storm. It's an Ocean Isle. That's Topsail. That's all those places, right? Ton of rain. This is 11 in the morning tomorrow, and that rain is moving up into Piedmont. Charlotte's going to get a pretty good dousing if that happens. And then it's moving up into Delmarva, especially the Outer Banks in southeast Virginia. All right, that was the GFS. This is the European. Let me back this out of here. The European's slower with it. It's throwing more. Look at all the moisture it throws. This is today at 2 o'clock. That's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's much slower, right? But it keeps the low down here. It's still well offshore. Then, as we get into Tuesday at 8 in the morning, the low is right off of Cape Fear. It's really tough to see, but it's looking like 1,008 millibars, which is nothing. Right off of Cape Fear, and then it moves onshore. So either way, the key is here is more than anything else. This is a ton of rain. And then if the center is here, this area over here has a tornado threat. All right, so you're talking the whole coast, the Outer Banks, Norfolk, even up towards Chincoteague, up in Virginia, Maryland, Delmarva area. That's where you tend to see the better chance for tornadoes. All right, this is the H-WRF. This is a hurricane-based model. Very latest just came out this morning. And here's some of the timing, just the low pressure. Guys, this is Monday at 11 a.m. It still has the center offshore, right? The GFS already had it onshore over here in Myrtle Beach. The European, the H-Wharf, they are all keeping it out over the water for longer, which could let it get a little bit stronger. And then this would be landfall late Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's actually 5 a.m. Tuesday morning up near Jacksonville, Camp Lejeune area, Swansboro. All right. Now, again, the worst weather would be, this is just a model, it's going to change, but the worst weather is going to be out over here as you got the strongest winds and rain coming in there. All right. That's what the pressure looks like on that model. Here's what the radar looks like on that model. 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, Monday morning. Look at all the rain already there. This is 2 p.m. Monday afternoon. Very heavy rain Monday evening, 8 p.m. through 2 a.m. and then clearing out. So let me back this up. Wilmington, your worst weather starts at 5 p.m. on Monday and then begins to clear out at 5 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So it's during the day on Monday, right? 5 p.m. It's during the night, Monday night into early Tuesday morning. So Wilmington's Monday night and Tuesday morning. It's a little bit later for areas to the north and the east, but right there, that is 2 a.m. Tuesday morning. So overnight, Monday night into Tuesday, the worst weather coming through eastern North Carolina and then clearing and moving its way on up into Virginia. Virginia, it would be more on Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon. Here are the winds, the latest from the H-Wharf. Look at the numbers, and it's tough to see. This is 11 a.m. Monday morning. It's just starting to get really kind of breezy up there. It's been blowing out of the northeast, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of water in the southern Pamlico Sound, and that's going to get up into the Neuse River. Those areas can expect about 2 foot of surge. But then look at the higher winds in the red that you see there. This is 5 p.m. Monday, 8 p.m. Monday, and that's when we start seeing the highest winds. So it's Monday night into early Tuesday morning that you get the highest winds. Those could be in the 40s and 50s, and that could be about 2 to 3 foot of surge, all right, on the beaches there. Now, look at Virginia. If something like this happens, that's an issue, right? You got 45, 50 mile per hour winds, and they are basically looking at those things moving to the north and the east. Sorry, guys, I'm doing something. So keep an eye on that for that area. That would be early on Tuesday morning that you'd be dealing with something like that in the Southeast Virginia area. All right, let's talk a different model. This is the HAVS, another hurricane-based one. Just wanted to show you the winds. It's very similar. It has landfall somewhere between Wilmington and Jacksonville, perhaps Swansboro, but that looks like Figure 8 Island, Topsail. But look at all that heavy wind, especially for Morehead City, Atlantic Beach, Emerald Isle. I mean, EI could get some really good wind out of this if that happens. That's 45, 55 mile per hour winds. Inland locations will not see that much wind, but it will be a rainmaker, and obviously we had that threat for storm surge and, well, in the Neuse River, obviously the Pamlico Sound, all these areas. But here's the surge for Southeast North Carolina, and you can see the timing is really, again, during the day on Monday, and then slowly coming down because that wind's going to be up for a while. But it's looking like 2 to 3 feet. Now, it could be more wherever this goes in. This is off of Wrightsville. Wrightsville today is at 2.5, and it would be about 4, almost 4.5. So that's a good 2 foot probably. It's a good way to round it up. So that's where we're looking at right now, guys. Most of this will be coming through, I think, during the day on Monday as we went over the timing. We'll have to watch it. Helene is the next name on the list. Tropical Storm Helene, Helene would be the next one. So we'll keep an eye on it for you. Let me know if you have any questions, anything like that. Just chat, comment, whatever. Hit me up. All right, guys. Take it easy.